I'm Mike Rudicle. I'm next up. Actually, disclaimer, when I originally agreed to be a participant up here, I was doing it from the perspective of a consultant. I led the technology practice for PricewaterhouseCoopers for Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, and stumbled upon a great opportunity for me personally, and as of Monday, became the CIO for Adesa here in town. So I'm going to speak a little bit from a consultant's perspective and a little bit from a business CIO perspective as well. Ironically, I literally started this new job on Monday with Adesa, and last night I met our board of directors for the first time and had dinner. And at dinner, this is by and large, these business partners are not the most savvy of technology people in the world. And I was sitting next to one of the top investors, and he was trying to come up, he was trying to show that he knew a little bit about technology, and actually cloud computing came up, and he asked me what I thought about it. And this is a gentleman, 63 years old, had not had a computer until he got an iPad 3 weeks ago. No email, nothing, until he got this iPad. So it's actually an engaging conversation. But one of the things that I pointed out to him, and this is something you can go to the next slide, I stole this from a book that I had looked in, and I think it was Cloud Computing for Dummies, but I won't swear to it. If you look at, he said, well, this is just another IT fad. This is just like, everything's something, there's a new one, you guys have a new flavor every week. If you actually go out and do, use Google Trends and do trending on cloud computing, this is actually what it looks like. I did this yesterday or the day before, and you'll see that it's been relatively stable increase. I mean, it's increasing like crazy. If you lay that against other technologies, and I didn't know this, but I'll steal your thunder. If you do that on virtualization, you'll actually see it spike, and then it sort of goes down and is fairly constant. So my point to them at the board meeting last night was, no, this is going to stick around, and it's not going to just impact me as a CIO. You guys have to understand it, because our businesses are changing dramatically as a result. What our customers look like today, they're not going to look like in the future. And I also said to them, what's not to like about cloud computing? It really doesn't matter what perspective you're coming from, whether you're the chairman of the board, whether you're the CEO, whether you're CIO, whether you're an analyst, whether you're a shareholder. There's lots of good things in it for everybody. I put some of these things up here, and I won't go through them in detail, but in essence, it's the list of what everybody's been asking, at least from my experience, what my clients have been asking for, and what my business partners have been asking for the last 10 or 15 years. The cloud provides the ability for us to bring agility in computing to life. And in fact, from my perspective, agility is the biggest advantage. And my definition of agility means being able to prepare for multiple future scenarios. And that's the world that we live in today. And as an IT professional, it actually helps me be better prepared for those. I can do things that I wouldn't have been able to in the past. Next. And then he was asking me, actually this came up, this same gentleman, his name's Michael Goldberg, by the way. He said, well, how do you start on this stuff? I'm too old to learn this stuff. And I said, well, actually, Michael, my mom just turned 73, and she uses Google for a group of widows for them to get together and communicate with each other. And she uses their messaging platform, if you will. And I said, if my mom can figure it out, I'm pretty sure you ought to be able to, now that you've got this fancy little iPad. So literally, there are ample opportunities for all of us on where to start. I know when I was at Lilly, the first place that I remember doing a lot around cloud computing was storage on demand. We had a very clever gentleman named John Reinders, who was the head of our R&D function, and IT R&D function, and he was a very innovative guy, and my IT organization couldn't meet his needs. We partnered together to use Amazon as our storage on demand. Worked fantastically. My clients, as a consultant, the biggest of clients are not only very interested in this, but are actively pursuing cloud computing strategies. A big client down in Cincinnati is actually very aggressive on the CRM side of the equation, not for an affiliate or for one part of the world, but for their organization globally. And then a major healthcare player that's headquartered out of Columbus, when I met with the CIO for the first time, That was the very first question, and it drove about 95% of the conversation, which fortunately for me turned out to be a couple days